So today our book is Roadtrip Carolina, a ride across the Old North State. The Old North State is what they call North Carolina. Binoculars, sunscreen, golf clubs, hat, flip-flops, tennis shoes, balls and bat, journal, skis, and bathing suits, camera, cooler, and hiking boots. Road trip. From the top of the mountains onto the sea, North Carolina waits for me. Beach, Piedmont, Triangle, Sandhills, Triad, Mountains. In autumn, shades of summer green turn rusty and red, and wild citrine. I hunt for leaves in colors that match apple cider and pumpkin patch. In winter, I zip my cozy coat and slip on fuzzy gloves. I trump through the snow, row after row, and leave a tree I love. Fat firs, short firs, tall and skinny, how do I pick with so many? I comb the crop, suddenly stop. There's the perfect tree for me. In the Tar Heel spring, I race and chase butterflies, flitting their new wings, as cardinals sing in their living rooms, and branches bursting with dogwood blooms. Dogwood is the state flower of North Carolina, also the state tree. In summer, with singing and strumming and picking and humming, I forget the sweat and beat the heat when I start tapping my feet, my dancing feet. From the tops of the mountains and onto the sea, North Carolina dazzles me. The craggy face along the mile-high ridge dares me to cross a swinging bridge. Which room would I claim if it were mine, if I could live here all the time? Hide and seek could last a week, sneaking behind fancy chairs, creeping up the secret stairs, slinking by fireplaces, towering overhead, curling into corners and slipping under beds. Is it a mansion, a castle? I can explore every floor, just as one family did live here before. From the top of the mountains and onto the sea, North Carolina surprises me. I can discover science experiments, design crafts, and create in the mint, dance in the fireflies, silvery gleam, splash in fish fountains, play hopscotch on the green, roar like a panther and cheer for my team. Cars blast, go fast. We wave our arms and hoot and shout as the drivers dart in and out. Motors howl in breakneck speeds. Quick pit stops fix tune-ups in need. I hold my breath and I clench my fist. Tires skid, swerve, screech, and hiss, and rocket to the finish line to win the race in record time. Moravian cookies stacked in bright red tins make my mouth tingle and my hand reach for gingery nibble, crisp and paper thin, and I do it again and again. I spot a sign that says hot now. Inside I bolt and wiggle in line to quiet my tummy and start to scream for straight from the oven hot Krispy Kreme. I veer off for roadside treats in search of local adventure to eat. The waiter recommends his favorite food, Carolina barbecue, Lexington style that is. A bowl of Brunswick stew, gooey baked sweet potatoes, golden fried green tomatoes, homemade pimento cheese, cornbread, and hush puppies. He brings pitchers of cold tea, and he serves it sweet to me. From the top of the mountains to the sea, North Carolina energizes me. I have a fever, the symptoms are clear. It happens every year, March Madness is here. I watch basketball day and night, no time to work or shop or play. We follow each jump, dunk and score, rooting for players that we adore. Our voices grow hoarse, our throats grow sore. The fever spikes for the Final Four. The only cure that I have found is the final buzzer of the championship round. Go Duke! I grab binoculars so I can see wild animals running free. I spy gazelles, baboons, chimpanzees ambling through the grass and leaves. I count the stripes on the zebra's back as giraffes munch a treetop stack. I watch waddling puffins and slick harbor seals feeding on their fishy meals. The polar bear plunges in an icy pool for a brisk bath. Refreshingly cool, I press my nose to the chilly glass for an up-close view of an Arctic splash. Chimes ring a toll from the tower bell. I make a wish and then drink from the well. I hug the Davy poplar tree that's even older than UNC. Hope for a home run with all the bases full and a steamy snort from the billboard bull. Eyeball to eyeball and face to face with dinosaurs and slithery snakes, I study worms and whales and manatees and then skip along streets of old oak trees, crossing the playground to follow the sound of circus music from the merry-go-round. Clouds of cotton candy on a stick, my tongue's more pink with every lick. Plump-sized piggies, first-place cows, tilt-a-whirls and fairies, wee wow! From the top of the mountains and onto the sea, North Carolina thrills me. A parade of fluffy parachutes float and soar, Coast Guard, Army, Air Force, Marine Corps. Men and women in uniforms protect me and honor peace and freedom for our country. We drive our car onto the boat. The road is water and we are afloat. A sunny, soothing ferry ride transports us to the island side. I bury my toes in silky sand when we arrive back on the land. Signal beacons steady and strong, guiding sailors all day and all night. Kitty hawk kites swoop, loop, curl, and swirl, wiggle, waffle, weave, and falter, finally flounder, droop, and flop, till a new gust blows them back to the top. As the daylight tires and fades, sunbeams tiptoe on rippling waves, wild ponies gather to graze, high tide fills the sandy bays. Slowly the melting sun sinks, painting the sky in lavenders and pinks. From tops of the mountains and onto the sea, North Carolina watches over me. The Carolina moon shimmers and shines across the mountains through the longleaf pines, over sleepy farms and quiet cities and children who are no longer busy, on animals slumbering and silent and still, across growing fields and sandy hills, through streams tumbling over river rocks, over snoozing seagulls perched on the docks, above friends rocking on old-board chairs, with memories and stories still to share. From the top of the mountains and onto the sea, North Carolina belongs to me. And there's lots of facts in the back so you can learn more about the old North State where your daddy is from.